Right, peace family, we're back once again. This time we're gonna catch up and reconnect with G Holy. Now the last time we spoke was in July this year in the summer. We spoke about the music projects he's got, Free Love and Before I Live For You, that was already out. We spoke a lot about his upbringing and the music and stuff like that. So it's a pleasure to catch back up now in the winter and see where things have moved forward for 2020. So what's good, bro?
What's going on, man? Yeah. 2020 has been crazy for everybody. So, you know, just
Yep.
everybody doing their best to adjust. I did the same exact thing. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, when we spoke before, we sort of spoke a lot about the Dream Team and the Empire stuff that you've been building, and it was in the middle of this pandemic and stuff that we've been seeing happen this year. How have you been finding it? Just working and moving forward. I know a lot of countries are locked down in different ways. Like in the UK, we're on like some tier 4, tier 3 lockdown and stuff. Have you been able to keep things moving out there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in LA, so
Okay.
everybody got like a misconception about LA. Like they think LA is like super locked down. But I mean, it's not. The only thing that was really annoying was the studio. Like I had two or three studios that I was going to, and they were trying to charge me up to like go to other studios. Like they would say, "Look, I'm not open, but my man is open. He gonna charge you to record, and then I'm gonna charge you to mix." So basically, what was costing me like $50 an hour, now it costing me like $150 an hour because I'm bouncing it between two people and stuff like that. So I was like, "Fuck it!" I just went and got the studio and put it in the crib.
Yep, that sounds like a good idea. And I was gonna say, especially nowadays, there's so many virtual even mixing options where you can send stuff out that you can probably get it done a bit cheaper as well. But I know
Yeah.
sometimes you want that good quality mix, and you might be accustomed to a sound.
Nah, but you know what though? I've been an engineer. You know what I'm saying? People already know the top engineers in the city done came to me to master their stuff. You know what I mean? Like you can ask people that's associated with Milk Boy Studios in Philadelphia, or you can ask Dunny, who's a big name in Philly. They all respect my mixing skills. So all I needed was a setup. I just honestly was being lazy at the point because I was doing so much. I'm doing the artwork, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm like, I could just not do the recording, you know what I mean? But if I gotta go back to it, that's always an option.
Yeah, no, it's good. And you know what I was gonna say, salute yourself, man. Don't say you was being lazy because you tipped it off right by saying you had a lot of other things doing, which is, sometimes how it is as an entrepreneur or even as a hustler, self-made, you're out there not looking for a handout, you're doing something for self as a black man and as a human, which is always commendable. So sometimes you can't really get to everything, and like you said, you might have to go to somewhere else to do your recording. But having those skills to fall back on is something that's good, and I think a lot of other young artists need to sort of not necessarily follow that suit because I feel as though people are losing out on having skills nowadays because the technology makes it so much easier to do stuff like graphic designing. You ain't really got to sit down there and do graphics for hours. You got these little apps, people are clicking a few buttons and got graphics done there and things of that nature. So I think the skills that you got is something that's commendable, and we spoke about that last time just in terms of you being G Holy, which isn't just an artist, it's like a brand within itself. So you want to speak a bit more about that?
Yeah. So I got like, okay, so gholy.com is the website. And I chose to name it after my own brand name just to keep everything in brand. It's like, why it was either going to be gholy.com or it was going to be dreamteam.com. But dreamteam.com is a whole separate thing. That's the more spiritual side. So gholy.com had to be it because what was I going to make it? You know what I mean? Like you could do about that online, but you're gonna do about that online all the way across the board. Everything you do is about that online. So it wouldn't make sense for me to be G Holy and then turn around and make hiphop.com, like some
Okay.
generic shit. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
at the same time, I gotta co-sign all this stuff and it gotta come through me anyway. So I might as well
Facts.
put my name on it. And with having a twist on the website with the spiritual aspect, I think that'll help it stand out and also be along the lines of my brand because that's a part of my brand too. I'm hip hop and spirituality. So the tagline is rhyming spirits. You know what I mean? So Yeah, that was one of the things that I ventured out into while we was in this whole thing too. Like it just gave me a lot of time to sit back and do that because I had to figure out like coding. You know what
Okay.
I mean? You know how it is. You like
Yeah,
I had
yeah.
to figure out like everything. I had to figure out how to get advertisements on my side. I had to figure out just a lot of stuff, and I had to get used to like reaching out to people and shit like that because as an artist it's a little different. People kind of reach out to you, you know what I mean? But as a journalist and somebody that's trying to cover the culture, it's like you gotta reach out to people and be like, "Yo, this is what I'm doing. Get back with me." So
Yeah.
it's been yeah, it's been cool. I'm learning.
Yeah, no, that's what's up. So, definitely, I like once again, I definitely want to salute you, and because you setting a good example for other artists coming up and other artists doing their thing, and just the Dream Team concept. I know you've got the merch and stuff like that, and the spiritual aspect is something that I find definitely interesting as well because I feel as though spirituality has been, we can say it's been taken out of a lot of things, especially when it comes to some of our people, not to get too deep or technical on it. But
Yeah,
and sometimes with hip hop we see that it can be taken out as well. Like there's a lot of hip hop artists who are spiritual, but they may not showcase it within their music or within their brand because some of them may feel like it impedes their brand. So what was it, or what is it about you that said, you know what, I want to put this spiritual advice out there, and I still want to balance it with my hip hop and present myself in the right way. I know it's um, uh, a part of yourself, but can you expand on that a bit?
yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I just don't know how to be fake, and like I leveled up myself spiritually. And so I felt like I had to show that within the brand. I just had to figure out a way to do it. So I went through a couple of phases because G Holy wasn't even like my original stage name, I guess you would say, or artist name.
Yeah,
I was Prime City, and then I was some other dumbass name, and then ended up being G Holy because um G Holy is just fitting it all in one. Like I was extreme left. I was like, you know, Prime City was like extreme left. The other time it was like extreme right. So G Holy is like that balance. You know what I mean? That middle point. So I just felt like, first of all, the fifth element of hip hop is education. You know what I'm saying? That's one. And you could say it's a spiritual aspect, but also I'm just educating. I'm just not ignoring the fifth element of hip hop. You know what I mean? You gotta be able to teach to call yourself hip hop.
yep,
You know what I'm saying? So what am I teaching? All these things that I picked up along the way, and things that people looked at me for, that I got credibility in the space of. Like people literally call me. Anybody who can get their hands on my phone number calls me for some type of advice, and often it's life advice or spiritual advice. You know what I'm saying? So I said, okay, let me take this. Since people need this, let me do that. Same thing with the website. It's like I'm credible in the space of hip hop. People know that I can rap, if anything else. If you go to Philly, you ask about G Holy, they're gonna say he can rap.
yeah, yeah.
So I think I'm qualified to judge rap in a different way because I got the credibility in that space. You get what I'm saying? So that's really all it is, just taking what I am and just trying to showcase it in the best way without being too confusing, you know what I mean? Because people kind of get on people like Nas and Tupac
Yeah.
for showing too many sides of themselves, you know what I mean? So I want to fit it all in one solid thing, but still not be confusing, but still be myself.
Yeah, no, I get it, and I mean it's something that a lot of us artists have to do. Even myself, I guess I'm somewhere. I'd say teetering around that Tupac Nas kind of stage where I showcase a wide sort of range. But I get what it is. Sometimes you gotta reel that in because, as you said, it can be confusing sometimes to people or they don't really get it. But I think the real ones are the people that are really intuitive, gonna understand because they have a similar eye to see things. With that being said, just kind of picking up on what you spoke about with your website and stuff like that, and just being balanced and stuff. You also mentioned to me earlier that your partner or your girl is second in command and manages a lot of stuff for the site. How important is that? Would you like having a relationship balance like that and being able to work together?
That's something I really wanted to showcase because it's not something you really see often, because oftentimes, you know what I mean? And I was just talking to my man and he was telling me something similar to this. Oftentimes you get an artist that's super passionate and they, end up with somebody that's more square and more 9 to 5. And that works too, because artists is known to be broke. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And artists need a foundation, and artists need also like just startup money for stuff. So that ends up working out that way. But just as far as two artists, two pure artists, and two multi-talented artists coming together, who's learning the business, that's a whole different thing. You get what I'm saying? Like, we
Yeah.
didn't have to. We already came together, mastered in our artistry in a way. But learning how to put that out there, we learn together. We learning together. You know what I mean? When I first met her, you know what I'm saying? One of the first things we did, well, not when I first met her, but along those lines, one of the first things we did was she helped me do my release party. And I got the footage online from my release party. It was wildly successful. This was right before I left Philly. I'm talking about wildly successful.
Yeah.
I was just gonna get a whole bunch of people in the room and just have a mic. You know what I mean? She
Yeah.
came through with all the other ideas. She decorated the whole thing. You know what I mean? She helped me schedule it out so that it's she had me get people to put in like raffle tickets to get stuff. It was like a super fun time, and it was a release ball, and it got coverage in the city and everything. It was really successful. You know what I mean? It was one of the reasons I was thinking about not leaving Philly, because I'm like, damn, I'm really building a solid buzz in Philly, and now I'm going to LA. But it's cool because LA is a much bigger market.
Yeah.
But anyway, you know, just having that person to be day to day with you. Like right now, we got interns for the site. She really deal with the interns, you know, um, like on the one-on-one basis. You know what I mean? I come in, I say whatever I'm gonna say when I feel like I need to say it. But she's got the whole crew, and yeah, she handle a lot of logistics and things of that nature. A lot of the what do you call it? What's the word for it? A lot of clerical stuff and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's important, man, for anybody out there, even if you're not the greatest um let's see, match with somebody as far as personality or things of that nature. At the end of the day, dog, it's gonna come down to business. This whole shit is gonna come down to business. Y'all gonna have children, and them children's gonna have to eat. So if you could find somebody that you love, of course, but also that'd be a good fit with you business wise, that'd be the best move for your at least your financial future.
Yeah, no, that makes sense, and it's solid advice. And I'd want to touch on that because sometimes I think, especially in today's world, a lot of people can speak on things that they don't have the experience on, or they can speak on things without having tried to do something. So I always be like, unless you really try to do something, you sometimes you don't really know what it takes. So you hit a really important point because sometimes I guess as artists, people can be in relationships with people and you got some kind of balance there. But I've always felt the same in the past myself, where it's like, how able are they going to be able to come together with me when it comes to this business, and being able to build on that sort of level on a day-to-day aspect is, I'd say,
Hold on, not hold on, not even to cut you off, but that's what you're making is a good point too, as far as business. But even somebody that understand, I'm not taking a beaten path, I'm making my own way.
of course,
Even
yeah,
that's you
yeah,
get what I'm saying?
yeah. I
Yeah.
was going, I was going to get there, but that's a great point because
Yeah.
that's ultimately kind of what it come down to, because you're able to set your foundation and your mark, and as you said, even what you do in building, like I commended you earlier with doing something for self, but having somebody who dare to support that and understand that. So it's like it ain't just like they jumping on your bandwagon or nothing like that. They building with you. They following the direction that you leading and stuff. And that's super important in that too.
Facts,
Yeah,
facts,
yeah.
facts.
So to, before we go get into giving the people relationship and dating advice and all that stuff, we can get back to some music, and because that's something we touched on in the initial interviews and stuff. Now we're here in December. You got a new single upcoming, One Night in Miami.
Yeah, yeah. Yep. I decided to name it One Night Miami. You know what I mean? Because the One Night Miami movie is actually coming out on the same day. You know what I mean? Which is Christmas. So,
Christmas. Okay.
um, yeah. I don't want to give away too many tactics, but I'll be doing that kind of often because that's a thing that I put it. I say it to you first, not only because you know what I mean you covered me before, and it actually got it did a lot as far as my search engine optimization. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But also just because you know what I mean we on the phone with Rob. It's this tactic that DJ Clue used to do.
Okay.
Um
I remember Clue.
yeah, and what he used to do was he used to name his mixtapes, like before the official mixtapes, around whatever was happening in the culture. So it would make it even more relevant. So if it was the playoffs, it'd be like DJ Clue, the playoffs, volume one. If it
Okay.
was, you know what I mean, if it was the president, it'd be like DJ Clue, you know what I mean, during the election, DJ
Yeah,
Clue for president. So
yeah, you're right.
I'm looking
Clue,
and I'm
Clue,
going,
even
damn,
just thinking of it, Clue's tapes always stood out, man.
yeah, yeah. Because it was a great marketing ploy. No disrespect to like K Slay or something like that, but every time I picked up a K Slay tape, it just said K Slay Volume One, K Slay Volume Two, K Slay. But when you go get a Clue tape, it's like he would have had basically Clue in these times. He would have had the Pandemic Volume One. He would have had
Yep.
Justice for Breonna Taylor Volume One. Like it just whatever is relevant, and it's a great marketing ploy, especially now because of the way search engines work. So you're looking for One Night in Miami, you just might come across my song because it's coming out. It's a big movie. It's coming out on I believe Amazon Prime, but it's like it's about this fictional night that like Sam Cooke, Muhammad Ali, and a couple other people met up in Miami to discuss like they role in what was happening at that time. You know what I
Okay.
mean? And yeah, so it's gonna be a lot of searches going on for that. So why not put my song in the mix of that?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So is that the first single that you've released this year?
Yeah, man, and probably over 2 years now. Definitely over 2 years, because yeah, November 14th, 2018 was the last time I released anything. But since then, I took my campaign to the internet because it's like, was I gonna keep staying in the studio, wasting time and money? Because just to give you a little bit of background, I come from CDs,
Yeah.
so I'm used to going in the studio, making a CD, a whole entire mixtape for like $150,
Yep.
pressing up a whole bunch of them and going around and selling them for $5 until I make 5 times my money back, 10 times my money back, whatever. I can keep pressing this up forever. I lived around the corner from the projects. It's like 2,000 people in there. Like I can get my shit off and get my money back, and have some lunch money. So I'm used to that. I'm used to making money from music. I've been making money from music for a long time. So when the streaming kind of hit, it's like, no, this ain't the same because nobody's buying my music. So
Yep.
I'm like, I'm actually wasting money now. It's getting weird. So I had to really sit back and be like, all right, how am I going to make money from this shit? And until I figured it out, I didn't want to make music at all. So that's why you see, like, on my page, I got a bunch of freestyles because I'm never going to stop rapping. I'm gonna just, give it to you in a different way. Oh, people's attention is on Instagram all the time. Okay, I'll freestyle on Instagram. My biggest freestyle on Instagram right now probably got like 10,000 views. My least probably got like 1,000. So I'm getting from 1,000 to 10,000 views every time I put something out. That's cool because I can keep, flashing them with that until I actually get the actual music. So now I'm back with the actual music and it's time to push that. So yeah, I'm gonna be dropping often, really often.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And what about the Dream Awake album? You spoke about that last time. Was I guess that ain't gonna be coming this year now. So
Yeah, no, it's not because not only when I was figuring out the website and how to get paid from it, honestly, that was like people don't who never been through this process, they probably don't know. But that was like a 3 or 4 month process and learning curve where I had to actually get like I knew nothing about websites or anything. So I had to literally sit in my house for 3 or 4 months and get that right. So that set me back with recording. You get what I'm saying? And then, so we looking at 2021. I'm not even gonna give a date, but Dream Awake could be out in 2021. And for sure, shout out to everybody who bought some merch, whether it was on the street or whether it was on my Bandcamp where I sold over 50, 60, or it was on whatchamacallit, I'm at the like 20 sales, 21 sales on Etsy. So that's about 100 products sold, or 100 orders of an album that's not even out, but it's great promotion because I get to repost all those pictures now when the album is dropping. So I just want to thank those people. My shirts is not the cheapest shirts in the world, so I want to thank everybody who just supported that, and all my subscribers on my Dream Team Manifest, everybody who support me with giving $1, that shit go a long way. So shout out to y'all, and the people who never gave me $1, thank you for your support and your eyes and your love. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's real. So with that being said, where can the new listeners or the new people find you at?
I'm at gholy.tv on Instagram. If you type in gholy on Google, which I made sure of, and shout out to you, because like I said, you one of the best things that ever happened to my search engine. If you, or my SEO, if you type in G-Holy, everything you need to know will come up on Google. You'll see every single thing. But yeah, I'm gholy.fans on Facebook, gholy.tv on Instagram, and gholy_TV on Twitter. Yeah. And I'm consistent, dog. Everywhere you look, I got the same 1,500 followers. Nice. Swear to God. Go on my Facebook, go on my Twitter, go on my Instagram. It's literally all the same 1,500 followers. So these are the people that's been rocking with me, super solid, and they supporting the real way.
Well, shouts to them. You're gonna have to call them the Dream Team part. They part of the Dream Team too. So shouts to the Dream Team.
They are. You don't need $1 million followers.
Yep.
To make $1 million. Stop trying to get. I'm not gonna say stop trying to, but you ain't gotta get $1 from 1 million people. You get what I'm saying? You can get a whole bunch of money from a couple people and be living your life and living comfortably. And not only that, it's not even about the money. It's about the service you're doing for them, because that's the only reason or way they even gonna come out of their pocket. Give people something, add value to their life. You know what I'm saying? And ultimately, it'll come back.
Yeah, and that's some dope advice. So with that being said, family man, it's been a pleasure chopping it up with you, Holy, hearing about the new stuff. Anything else you want to announce, or you want?
Nah, I'm just dropping music all year, and I just want to shout you out for doing some dope shit and adding this, you know what I mean, piece of content to what we actually doing, and even thinking that way, having a dope site and a beautiful mind, honestly. So yeah, thank you.
It's all love, man. I believe that anybody we kind of cross paths with, we connected with spiritually, and so a lot of it meant to happen. And I got the utmost respect for the work I see you doing and the hustle, and I wish you nothing but success in the future. So peace, family.
Hold up.